Hey there, Danny here. Welcome to my ramblings. So I tell you, I tell you in all the videos, I do delivery. So I was out delivering the other night. I was in an area after dark that I don't normally go down to that area because it's not, I wouldn't say that it's unsafe, as in the fact that I'm afraid, but there's some shadier type people in that area. So I don't go down there unless there's a really good order, or I get caught down there right before, excuse my dog's butt. Unless I go down there right before it gets dark, and then I'm down there after it gets dark. Anyways, so I was down at this QT. I had to go to the bathroom. And although I love Circle K prices with their app for soda and whatever else you're going to get, and they're cheaper when I use my Gas Buddy card, but bathrooms wise, they're not the greatest, so I go to QT. Because when you're a delivery driver, you must use the bathrooms that are readily available to you. So I stopped at this QT, and I literally just got there. I just pulled into the parking spot, and there's like an empty space and then a minivan next to me. And all of a sudden, a guy from the gas station comes running outside. And he's yelling at somebody at the car, the minivan. It looked like a mom driving, and there are a few kids. And the guy comes out and yells at the kid and says, "I saw you take that. Put that back. There's cameras everywhere." And this kid, he couldn't have been maybe 9, 10, maybe 11, but I really doubt it. He gets out. His mom pops the hatch of the minivan. She's in the van still. And all of a sudden, he carries this case of water back to this pallet of cases of water. And he apologizes. Then the kid gets back into the van. The whole while, the guy from the gas station is yelling at the kid. My first thought, I didn't say anything because I wasn't getting involved in anything, because that's illegal stuff. I'm not jumping in on that. But my first thought, as this kid is getting yelled at, the mom's sitting in the driver's seat of the car. She saw the whole thing. Do you think she helps that kid or defends that kid or anything else? No. She lets the kid take the blame, and she sits in the car like it's no big deal. I'm sorry. I know in previous videos I've said I've seen everything. This is the first time that I had ever seen this. I'm sorry. If she's in desperate need of anything, there is St. Mary's Food Bank. There's Vineyard Church. There are several other food banks in the whole... And Vineyard Church isn't even in the city. It's in the suburbs. So if you need water, you need food, you need whatever, you can go to these places and they will give you this stuff. They won't charge you, and you don't have to steal it. The part that got me the most, though, was that this poor kid, this young man, his mother's forcing him to do this. This isn't something that she had no knowledge of, because she was sitting right in the minivan the whole time. When the kid did it, and then, because I came up just as he was putting in the back car and clothes that got in the minivan, and then that's when the worker came out. I didn't realize that he hadn't paid for it. I didn't realize any of that because I pulled up as he was putting it in. But then the guy came out and yelled at them, and the kid got out and put the water back. What is wrong with that mother? What kind of piece of shit is she? But we treat homeless people like they're no good. But this woman had a vehicle with a few kids in it, herself, and was basically putting her son up to stealing. probably under the guise that he's a minor, so he won't get in as much trouble. What kind of parenting is that? I was horrified for this child that a parent could do that. And the poor kid, while he was getting yelled at by the worker, that woman did nothing. She sat in the car with her hand like this and did nothing and acted like it was no big deal. That was it. I looked right at her when I got out of my car, locked it, and walked into the QT. I literally made eye contact with this woman, and she acted like it was no big deal. So evidently, she does this often. What is wrong with her? There are so many charities around that will help you out. If you needed freaking water, I was there. If you would have asked, I'd have gotten you water. There was absolutely no need for her to put this child in this position. And I guarantee you that this ain't the first time that it's happened. Now, she's ignorant because I didn't check the plates or anything on the car. I had to go to the bathroom really bad. I tend to, okay, I gotta go to the bathroom. All right, I'll take this delivery and then I'll go get it. And then I'll be driving back from that delivery and I'll forget to pause the app. And I'll get another good delivery and I'm like, okay, quickly, I'll do this. And if it's a place that has a bathroom, like if it's a Chick-fil-A or something like that, I'll go to the bathroom real quick before I pick up the order. But if I'm going to a restaurant like Jet Pizza and things like that, they don't have restrooms for us, so for anybody. So I'm like, crap. All right, I'll quickly drop this one off. So sometimes I'm like, at the very last minute, I gotta get to that bathroom now. I got barely enough time to get out of my car and make it to the bathroom door. Anyways, but all I thought to myself was, this woman, what's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? There's absolutely no reason to put that child up to that. And I don't know what state she was in, because if she came from, other places, small places may not have, and I'm talking like small towns and stuff, maybe they don't have all the cameras that we do here in this city. I don't know. But when you live in a big city like this, there's cameras everywhere. Everywhere. I do not comprehend why anybody does anything criminal anymore. When I first started doing this, sorry, my allergies are acted up. When I first started doing this in 2020, there were a few Ring cameras, but there really weren't a lot of cameras. And then as 2021 came through, and by the time 2022 is here, everybody has either a doorbell camera, some sort of doorbell camera, and if they don't have a doorbell camera, I assure you that probably 85% of the time, there's a camera up in the corner. And I notice them. Not because I'm doing anything wrong, but just because I just do. I notice them. There's a lot of times that in the little entryways of people's houses that sometimes there's birds' nests and things up there, and it's I don't want to get bird poop on me. Then I gotta run home and wash my hair, and that's gross. So I tend to look up. Well, the more I will look up, the more you see that pretty much most people have a camera. Very few that don't. Which is fine. It doesn't bother me. There are a lot of people that don't have doorbell cameras, but they'll have, even in apartments, they have them. Or they'll have the camera, the indoor camera, but they'll have it right in their window on the inside, but it can see everything out there. In the beginning, it kind of creeped me out. Now I don't really. I don't really care. And when it talks to you, it's kind of creepy. So there's been a few of them that when you walk up, it will tell you that you are being video recorded. And the first time I heard that, yeah, I jumped like crazy. Anyways, back to my point. I know I can get distracted very easily. Anyways, I was appalled that this mother was doing this to this child. I don't know if it was her biological child or not. I don't know. But what the hell's wrong with you? Why would you be doing that? Why are you doing this to a child? What is wrong with our society? And somebody has to know that mother. Do you know what? Blur the kids' faces out and any license plates, but I say you put it out there so people can see this mother. I think other people should be allowed to make comments to her. Although if you did that, then it would cause problems for the kids. So I get why they can't. But she's so ashamed that she makes her kids do it. It's just ridiculous. It's appalling. Totally appalling. I just don't get the whole situation. So, I came across that the other night. And then, so, I just recently, not too long ago, learned about what homosexual is. Which kind of shocked me, because I didn't even know what the hell it was. So I guess it's homeless people that try to have a relationship with somebody so then they can have a place to stay, I guess. Anyways, so last night I was picking up an order from Chipotle, and it was bringing me back towards where I normally like to be at, Dashing, and and there was a homeless guy there that asked if I could get him something to eat, and I was like, well, I don't have any cash, but I gotta take this order, which was literally down the street. It wasn't that far, maybe a quarter of a mile down the road. Excuse me. And I said, I have to take this delivery, but I'll come back and I'll buy you lunch. I'll buy you dinner. And he says, well, you give me a few bucks. And I looked at him and I said, I don't have any cash. I never have any cash. I said, and I've got to get this delivered. This is my livelihood. So I left and I dropped off the food to the customer. And I came back not knowing, because there have been a few times where I've done that before and the person's not been there when I got back there. So, well, then I guess they really didn't want dinner. Or they didn't believe I was coming back, one of the two. And so I got back there and he was there. So I grabbed my card and stuff and I went in to buy him dinner. And so he ordered what he wanted, and they asked if I wanted anything. I said, no, it's just for him. And I said, get him something to drink, whatever he wants to drink, blah, blah, blah. So I paid for it, and as we're walking out the door, I said, well, if you're in this area any other time when I'm out door dashing, I said, I'll stop and get you some lunch or dinner or whatever. Oh, yeah, that would be great. And then as I'm walking out the door, he follows me out behind the door, and he asks me for my phone number. And I'm like, no. I just kept walking. We're not exchanging numbers. We're not doing this. Nope. I probably won't see him again. The only times that I actually see the same homeless people, so when the lockdowns happened, they couldn't house the homeless people in the shelters because it was confined quarters and they were all too close. So they had funding that put them in, sorry, I was looking at my little girl dog. Anyways, so they had funding that housed them, in the motels, hotels around the freeway system. Well, I DoorDash off of one of the freeways out here. in the suburb. And so they housed a lot of homeless people out that way. Prior to then, you really never saw homeless people in that area. But in 2020, there were a lot of them because they were housed up that way. Well, once they opened things up, a lot of them went back to the city and stuff like that. But there were a few that stayed up in the area. So now there are regular homeless people that are up there. And some of them, and they don't always stay the same. Sometimes they do. I can tell you that I do know a couple of them that I'm not sure what's going on, but I see them standing out on the street during the day with a sign saying anything helps, God bless. And then in the afternoon, between like 2 and 3, maybe 3:30, I will see somebody picks them up. They put their bags and everything else in the back of the car, and they climb in the front of the car and they take off. I don't think you're homeless. The car looked nicer than what I drive. I don't think they're homeless. But there are a few out there that are homeless. The ones that are homeless, they're not always the same people. So you'll see the same people for a period of time, and then you don't see them. And then you'll see new people that'll be there for a period of time. So once I've seen them enough, then they know that if I have the money or the time, that I will stop and get them something to eat. I don't pick out something to eat and take it to them. I literally either take them into the store. They don't get in my car or anything. But they literally, I walk into the store with them and they get whatever they want and then I pay for it. But if it's busy time or whatever else, I usually don't stop. It's when it starts to slow down that I will stop, or if it's not really busy at that point, that I'll stop. And I will stop and I will ask them if they want a meal and what they want, because I'll go get it for them and bring it back. And I've done that a couple of times too. But there appears to be a couple of homeless people up where I'm at that that have a few of us that do that, because I see there are certain days where I will wave to them or whatever when I get to the exit for the strip mall or whatever, and heading out into the main road, and they'll be there and they'll kind of wave at me and then they'll point down to the food that they got. So somebody else, there's other people out there that do it other than me, and I know that for a fact because I see it. Who they are, I don't know. It really doesn't matter. I'm just glad that I'm not the only one that does it. But I have never, ever, and I've sat down and had meals with these homeless people. My friend Eric that I've talked about before, we went to IHOP together and had dinner together and enjoyed each other's company. We just BS'd and ate, and then he went about his business and I went home. No big deal. There's been a couple of females that I had stopped and had lunch with at different places. So it's not uncommon for me to socialize with some of them because, honestly, a lot of our society treats them like they're not human. And a lot of them talk really quietly and are well, they're shamed. They're taught to be ashamed of themselves, which I think is wrong because we're all human beings. I don't care what got them to that position. That's not my business. There's a need that I can fulfill. Man upstairs says I'm obligated. Honestly, it's not that he says I'm obligated. I use that as kind of a joke. The truth is, I don't know how somebody doesn't feel obligated. Have you never known what it's like to not know where your next meal's coming from? Have you never been so low down that you didn't know what you were going to do? If you've never been to that point, you should feel really lucky. But you should also realize that the people that are in those positions don't need your judgment. We're supposed to be lifting each other up, not lowering each other down. And if anybody runs around acting like they're better than another human being, you're honestly the biggest piece of shit on the planet. In my book, if you honestly can think that you are better than a human being because they're what are you doing over there, little girl? I have one of those like those wood stove fake fireplace heaters over here, and I have it in the corner over here, but there's space to go back around it. She come crawling out from behind it. There's no heat in the back of it, so nothing was gonna hurt her. But I'm like, why is she back there? I don't know. Anyways, I've never seen her do that. Anyways, if you tend to think that you are better than people because you have more than them, the problem with our society is you. That's what's wrong with our society, is you. Honestly. You have something and you see somebody else is in need, you should be helping. Like I said in my previous video, when you're standing at the pearly gates and the Lord asks you, tell me what you have done to help my children, to be of service to my children. What are you going to tell them? Oh, I drove a really nice car, I had a beautiful home, I went to church every Sunday, I attended Bible study. My church did. Nope, not going to get you into heaven. It's not going to happen. You're not getting into the pearly gates. Sorry. Rejected. He's asking what you, not your church, not an organization, not a foundation, what are you personally doing for his children? And the truth is, if you think you are superior to somebody because you have more than them, don't forget what the Bible says. The first shall be last and the last shall be first. I don't know about you. I don't want to be last. I'm alright with being last now, because I'll get to be first later. I don't want to be last when it comes to Judgment Day. When it comes time for Jesus, the man upstairs, to come down and bring us all to heaven, I do not want to be stuck here because I didn't do what was asked of me. I don't want that to happen. I don't want to be the last at that point. I want to be the first. So if I have to be the last here, I'm okay with that. As long as I can make it to first when it comes to that time. That's all I care about. That's it. Nothing more. So, go ahead and keep sharing your stories about the things that you go out and do good deeds on. And let's see if we can't get a good deeds chain going here. And I will be back in a day or two. I just really wanted to come on and share that story with you about the mother and the son, because, oh, that horrified me. I could not believe what I was witnessing. And I just got done telling you guys not too long ago in another video that I have seen everything. Well, that I hadn't seen. So maybe I should stop speaking those things, right? Anyways, feel free to share any of the issues or anything that you have. You need to reach out. Contact information is below. You can leave a message. You can put a post. You can leave me an email. You can text me. You can give me a call. Doesn't cost you a damn thing. I'm here to be of service so I can be one of the first. So when I'm at the pearly gates, I know I'm getting in. What are you doing to get into the pearly gates? Anyways, have a great day, guys. I will talk to you in a day or two. We got a cold night tonight. Love ya. Bye.